So this is a 1952 Ferguson To 30 farm tractor that I started working on over the summer, and it had been sitting for quite a while. The clutch was frozen, and I had gotten the clutch freed up, and once I got it running, I determined that it had a misfire to it. One, possibly two cylinders. They're not completely not firing, but they're not producing the same power that the other two are. So what I've done so far, I have removed the fuel tank off of it and removed the valve cover. And the one thing that I did notice on this cylinder right here was that I had two bent push rods going up to the rocker arms, which open the valves. So I had replaced those two push rods after checking to make sure that the valves did open and close freely. And I put it back together and tried running it again and still had pretty much the same problem with it. So apparently we're going to have to get a little bit further into it. One thing I did notice is there is some play in the valve guides, and I can move the end of the valves back and forth. So we could potentially either have a broken valve guide or just a lot of wear in valve guides. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to be removing the manifold and just making sure that there isn't any foreign material in the intake manifold or stuck in any of the valves that might be causing this. The valves appear to be closing properly and everything else, but just to make sure that there isn't something that's not interfering with the flow. So I will be taking the manifold off. This tractor had sat for several years outside. So in order to take the manifold off, I will be removing the air intake boot right here. I'll be removing the fuel line, the exhaust, and the throttle linkage, which is right here, that goes around to the back side of the carburetor. And after that, I will be removing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nuts that hold the manifold on. And then I'll take that off. If I don't spot anything really obvious at that point, I will be removing the cylinder head, and we will be checking for valve problems. I have already done a compression test on it. Compression seems even on it, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to find here. So stay tuned.